What's up, guys? Today marks the start of a little mini adventure for me because I have brought the electric skateboard all the way with me to Paris. So I'm in Paris today for a couple of days, then heading on to Rome, and beyond that heading to every one of the European Formula E tracks, but before the track is actually built. So we're going to be in the city centre looking at the challenges that these tracks throw up, what's involved in building them, what they'll look like, what the challenges for the engineering team, for the teams, will look like. Essentially, how do you go about building a racetrack in the middle of one of the busiest cities in the world? So we're going to be touring all of the European tracks, trying to bring that to you in the form of a sort of a pre-track track guide, if you like. So we just arrived in the centre of Paris. I'm about to take the skateboard out. We're going to go and look at the location, have a little look around, get a little Parisian cafe, coffee and croissant, and sit there and take in the sights while we work out what we're going to do. Right, well, we've left the hotel, obviously. We're now pretty much in the centre of Paris, and it's quite extraordinary to see this area, which come race day will be bustling with no traffic on the roads, but race cars and fans and all of the paraphernalia that goes around putting a race together. That over there, the museum, is actually going to form the media centre. They have an incredible space in there with this beautiful, ornate, very historic room where they stick the media. It's quite incredible. And then this roundabout that you can see over here, just behind me, that forms part of the racetrack. The pit lane goes off up that road up there that you can see in the background. That will form the pit lane. Very, very tight pit lane. Well, this is all very relaxed, isn't it? Not on race day. So this is going to be where the race start will happen. The grid will form up right down along this road. It's fascinating to see what it looks like right now because, of course, traffic flowing around everywhere, but also we've got traffic lights in the middle of the road. They'll be gone by the time the racetrack is officially built here. They take so much infrastructure up. It takes much less work and much less disruption to put a Formula E race in the centre of a city than it ever would do for a Formula 1 race, of course. And that's one of the reasons that Formula E is able to run on this kind of model. This is something that still blows my mind, and it blows my mind when we go to Baku as well in Formula 1 because exactly the same process applies. Look, cobbled streets behind me. Well, we can't race on cobbled streets, so they actually lay a fresh layer of tarmac over the top of the cobbles just for the race weekend. So that process happens a week or so, 2 weeks before the race will roll into town, and then after the race it's taken back up. There's a protective layer that goes down over the cobbled surface, and then a brand new fresh layer of tarmac. I mean, what's all that about? That's incredible that we go to those lengths. Just look at it. And then after the race it comes up and we bring this lovely historic and traditional road surface back to the centre of Paris. Unbelievable. This is a cool city, by the way, isn't it? So we're about halfway around the lap right now, just kind of picking out little interesting bits to talk about, little interesting bits of the racetrack, or that we think will be interesting when the racetrack is actually exists. That is Johnny and Jack behind me, producer and cameraman. It's going quite well. It's actually a really cool place to come and shoot. Because there's so much. This circuit is literally bang in the middle of one of the most iconic cities in the world. You know, it's amazing to have a racetrack this much in the heart of Paris. It's pretty special. You know, to have it laid out as it in the location that it is, ticks so many boxes for Formula E. It's a massive kind of feather in the hat of the FIA as well, who are based just around the corner. Great first day done. We've done an entire lap of the Paris ePrix circuit It's really interesting, and particularly some of the stuff around the cobbled areas, which, as I said earlier, applies to places like Baku as well. Just the scale of the operation, laying down a road surface over some fairly old, historic, cobbled sections of streets, only to then take it up again in the days following the race, is amazing. I still find that staggering that that's the lengths we go to, but it's given me a whole new appreciation. I hope a little bit to you as well. Those who complain about Formula E tracks or street tracks in general in Formula One or anything else, to just walking around the streets, seeing the traffic flowing, seeing the road layout in its most raw, basic form, gives you a newfound appreciation of just what these circuit and race organisers are up against in terms of the constraints that they face. And I know you can easily say, well, look, sod it, let's just go back to traditional racetracks, you know, places like Spa or Silverstone. I know they're all great tracks, they're brilliant, but the point of Formula E is that it's bringing racing into the city centre, to race in the city centre where electric vehicles are needed most, to promote that idea, bringing the racing to the people, you know, instead of asking the people to travel out of town to a racetrack. And that concept I really like. And even if you don't like many of the Formula E circuits, you cannot ever say that the racing is not spectacular, full of drama, full of controversy, full of action, no matter when you watch it. I honestly, genuinely believe that. And I know loads of you will disagree. Feel free to disagree in the comments, I'm sure you will. The full video, when it is released, of course, I'll pop a link up and share it with you. But for now, the day hasn't quite come to an end. The filming day's come to an end. So now we've called it a wrap. The filming's finished. Now we come back, jump in the shower, head out for dinner. And because we're in Paris, we're definitely not short of some good restaurants to go and check out. So I'm looking forward to that. Before tomorrow, we then get on the skateboard, do some more laps of the circuit, and find some more interesting things to talk about. Good gig, this one. I like it. So it's day 2. We had a really successful day 1. Had a nice meal last night. But today, it's all about the action shots. I've just done an entire lap of the circuit on the skateboard, which is epic. Love this place. The guys are just looking at the GoPro footage now. Does it come out? It's come out well.
Very well.
Yeah, what an amazing track to go around on a skateboard. I mean, at the moment there are cobbles halfway round, as I talked about yesterday, and that just rattles the hell out of you. But what a brilliant experience. It's hardly work, this, is it? I just find it so hard to call this sort of stuff work. I love it. I'm also losing my voice, which is probably less than ideal as a TV presenter, but hopefully it'll come back later on. So we're just setting up for another shot, but look how old school this is. You just park up at the side of the road here. Petrol pumps right next to the roadside. You stop in the traffic, but you pull up, fill your car up, pop into the coffee shop behind me to pay. It's brilliant. It's just in the slow lane.
As he comes past, you just spam with him.
Tower, the Louvre, the Arc de Triomphe. It's even home to motorsport's governing body, the FIA. But whilst there are all great reasons to visit this wonderful city, it's not why I'm here. I'm here to bring you on a tour. Welcome to Paris, the French capital, home to the Eiffel Tower, the Arc de Triomphe, the Louvre. It's even home to motorsport's governing body, the FIA. Whilst there are all great reasons to visit this wonderful city, it's not why I'm here. No, I'm here ahead of the second round of the Volstapina European Race Series to take you on a tour of the ABB Formula E Paris ePrix circuit using an electric skateboard. Hello. It's a pretty cool location, isn't it? We're just about finished with our kind of track guide. The circuit, as I say, will change dramatically from what we've seen today. Tons and tons of concrete barriers, steel fences, and all of the rest of the infrastructure that has to roll into town to put any sort of big event on will roll in and completely change what we've just seen. But it's been really fascinating to see what it looks like right now in such a beautiful city. I'm going to try, we'll be wrapped in about half an hour or so. I'm going to try and go for a run and see if I can get really close to that to get some good pictures before we go.